number 12 of the TVRealm podcast. I'm Max and Brennan alongside me, Sarah Stockdale.
Hey, everybody.
And today it's going to be a low-quality podcast because for some reason, Skype or your speakers aren't allowing us to do anything.
Yeah, and my phone sucks in quality if you can't already hear Max, so sorry about that.
Okay, so, try to make this a brief podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to stray for too long.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and, we're gonna skip Amazing Race, and let's go ahead and jump into this episode of Survivor.
Okay.
So, on this episode, well, the past two episodes, because we missed last week, the past two episodes, I think, have been a best-case scenario, because now the Pagonging has, beef.
Yes. Totally over with. It's anyone's game at this point.
But is it really I think we can roll out two people who can't win. Rick cannot win, and Edna cannot win, and Cochran has a very low shot at winning.
Yeah, I don't think Cochran will win. I think Jim put it perfectly when he said Cochran is playing a third-person game, or not third-person, third-place game. He just goes through kind of stupidly and just, I don't know, like, doesn't, like, say the right things at the right time and doesn't do the right moves. And so he is playing the perfect third-place game who probably won't get any votes when it comes to the jury.
Okay, yeah, I think what Jim means at best third-place game of all time is, I think he's talking about the Final Three era, and because there are definitely people who have come in third place in the past who have played a lot better than Cochran. The example, Rob Cesternino.
Yes, but once again, that was the two-person format, and with the third-place format, it's just, I mean, it's a bit harder, I guess, but I think Cochran would be the perfect person to take to the Final Three, because he won't get any votes, but in Cochran's point of view, that's probably not as good. He has no shot at winning.
Okay, so let's talk about this week's Redemption Island duel. So at the beginning of this, I predicted Ozzy would win, and after I saw a challenge, I basically knew 100% he was going to win, because Ozzy is master at challenges, but the even bigger master at endurance challenges.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted him to just slip up, because then we could get retarded Ozzy out of the way, but of course, no.
And I knew Keith wouldn't win, because I thought his height might play a factor, and then I just thought Jim, I don't know, I didn't think Jim would do good.
Yeah.
And so, Jim and Keith became the first and second members of the jury, and if everything happens next episode, that means that we'll have the third and fourth members of the jury also. So we're moving along pretty swiftly in this season.
Yeah, I don't know if next week will be a double elimination, though. I think they might have been doing that just so they could get past the inevitable Pagonging.
Well, I think these are the only two scheduled double eliminations, and I'm pretty sure next week is going to be a recap episode because it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's normally a boring recap, so we're probably going to skip next week's podcast as well.
Yeah, most likely.
Unless if something comes up in the reality news.
Or we just feel like putting a podcast out there.
Okay, so, let's move on, and, this challenge, was an interesting challenge. I was liking this season's challenges. I think they're a lot better than they've been lately.
Yeah, I think they've been great challenges. I think that it's great that some of the challengers are getting back to actually going in the water since they're on a beach, and just good overall challenges. They have great staff who works on it and designs everything. And I think that they're really going back to almost like the old challenge form, like that they were actually good. Because for a while there, they just got into almost like a slump where they were just repeating them and repeating them. And not to say they aren't repeating ones from earlier seasons this season, just they are actually like improving them or making it better with the new cast.
Okay, and so, Sophie won the immunity challenge, and now it's inevitable that Dawn or Whitney are going home, but, Albert has something else in mind, and he wants to get Edna out.
Which would be pretty smart, actually, saying as Edna's probably one of the ones that you'd want to take to the finals. Well, at least Coach would, because Coach, even though he says he's all about, warrior heart and all that, and that he wants to go to the finals with the two strongest people, well, no, he's not. You want to win the $1 million, and he can say all the BS he wants, but it's not going to go through. He'll take Cochran and Edna, because he knows they're not going to get any votes.
Here's what I thought about this move, and after I kind of thought about it a little bit. By Albert wanting to vote Edna out, it shows that Coach is guaranteed a spot in the final three and will probably win. Because why would you want to take the complete non-threat out when you can take the biggest threat in the game out in Coach?
Because Albert doesn't think he's the biggest threat. He thinks that Coach would be, should be sitting next to him in Final Three, or should at least get farther. Which, from a viewer's point of view, is not smart, but he doesn't know that Coach has been totally lying. He just knows that Edna wouldn't be one of Coach's final people, and probably Cochran too. And Albert got scared by that. And, he just, I guess, doesn't see that he should take out Coach, or may not have the support or balls to do it.
But he doesn't even see Coach as a threat, really. He might, but he hasn't expressed it. And when he went at the selfie to say, this is who we should vote out, maybe she didn't even consider Coach as being an option. Nobody's considering Coach as an option to go to Redemption Island.
He's playing almost like Boston Rob from last season. Everyone just reports back to him. It's just it's basically like Boston Rob's game last season, minus the whole let's walk off in twos thing.
Well, they don't really need that, because they had their 7 against 4, so it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now we think Edna is probably going to go home. And I'm surprised Dawn and Whitney didn't even think they would take Coach out, but I'm assuming they were just thinking Coach was, they couldn't convince the others to vote Coach out.
Yeah, to make an analogy, it's almost like shepherds and the shepherd and the sheep. Who's the shepherd? Coach. Who's the sheep? The rest of the Polos plus Cochran.
Now, I don't know if Cochran is exactly a sheep. He's kind of a sheep, but I don't know if he's a sheep to the coach or the shepherd coach.
Well, he did get convinced by Coach to flip sides and just ended up costing Savai their whole lead, which could be argued whether it was a good or bad move either way. But just, he did get convinced by Coach, and even if he does see Coach as a threat, he still has to follow him because none of the other sheep are really taking a lead as a shepherd.
Okay, that's a fair statement. So let's move on to the tribal council. And here, what do we have to say?
What?
Albert is one who doesn't follow through with his plans, because as we saw, there's only 2 votes to get Edna out, and the rest were to Dawn. And that just shows that follow through with what he says.
Or Sophie and Cochran might have convinced him otherwise. Because Dawn was a threat. I mean, I don't think she was as big a threat as Coach. No way. But I think that if she had come back, she might have been able to pick it up a bit. And if she comes back from Redemption Island, she might even be able to pick it up a bit.
Okay, and so Dawn gets voted out, and then immediately after, we have another immunity challenge, which Sophie again wins. But this one was a question about survival, and just so they should all know about this. Who cares about all that stuff? I mean, there's the dumbest questions in there.
Yeah, I know. I was expecting, Survivor Trivia or something, and for Cochran to get immunity. I mean, that would have been, awesome. Cochran would have just, won the whole thing. Everyone else would be like, wait, who's Rob Sesternino? I don't even know him. Is he that fool with the podcast?
Okay, and so,